Well, today on Secret Kitchens of New Jersey, I'm sharing you my absolute ultimate coffee cake recipe. I've been making this for years. It's super easy. It makes a giant coffee cake. So easy, so versatile. And guess what? I'm making it for you right now. Hey, welcome to Secret Kitchens of New Jersey. And today we're making coffee cake. And here's the thing, everyone needs a great coffee cake in their repertoire. And I certainly have one. I've had it for many years. I've modified it over the years, and it's kind of like my master coffee cake recipe. And to it, I will frequently add many different kinds of fillings or toppings. So today I'm going to make one of my most favorite ones for you, and of course all the recipe and all that information is below in the description. Alright, so like any coffee cake, you know, we've got our wet ingredients and we've got our dry ingredients. Typically I would be using my stand mixer, but the thing is that my stand mixer, not everyone has a stand mixer, so I'm using a hand mixer because I just want you to see it's so easy and I don't want that to be a barrier. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cream our butter. All right, that's good. I know it's going to be a little noisy. So I'm going to add my eggs in. Oh wait, before I add the eggs, let me add the sugar. I have a cup of sugar here. You know, again, all the ingredients are below. I'm going to add in a cup of sugar. I'm going to cream that with the butter, trying to keep the secret kitchen safe and sound while I do this. Let's cream the butter. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Now I'm just going to scrape down my sides here. All right, this is all, you know, this is all pretty basic stuff, creaming the butter and the sugar. And next thing I'm going to do is add the eggs in one at a time. By the way, my butter, I have yogurt here. You could be using sour cream in my eggs. Everything is at room temp, okay? So adding 3 eggs one at a time. Here I go. Okay, that was my 3rd egg. Wow, I forgot how noisy these guys can be. Sorry about that. All right, so 3 eggs. And again, I'm just going to scrape down the side. Okay, my oven is preheated to 350. That was the signal. Next, for my wet ingredients, I'm going to add some Greek yogurt. Now, the recipe calls for sour cream. I didn't have sour cream in the house today, but I always have plain, not flavored, plain Greek yogurt, and I'm going to add a cup of that right now. All right, I'm just getting every dollop of yogurt in here before I hit it again with the mixer. I want to hit it with a big splash of vanilla. Oops. Not that. Okay, vanilla kind of goes in everything. Vanilla enhances the flavor of everything that you added to. All right, let me get this yogurt mixture situation mixed up. And again, sorry for the noise. Okay, my wet ingredients are mixed up. I'm just going to scrape down the bowl. It already smells delicious, by the way. You can see it's nice and creamy. Okay. All right, now let me just move, let's see, let me move this over here for a moment. These are my dry ingredients. And I've got the flour, and to that, we're adding some baking powder, baking soda, and of course we're going to add some salt because, again, whether it's savory or sweet, we're always going to add some kosher salt. Okay. Give this a good mix to distribute all of the dry ingredients. All right, and before I add this, I want to do one more thing, is we're going to have a filling in this coffee cake. So this is not a super sweet coffee cake. That was only a cup of sugar. I personally don't like cakes to be so sweet. I like them, well, no, I don't want to say not sweet, but I don't want to taste so much sweetness. This is some filling, which has, this is about I want to say it's about 1/3 of a cup of coconut sugar. You can use regular sugar if you want to, but I like coconut sugar. And it has some similarities to brown sugar, and I just like getting those notes in here. So really, a cup of sugar and another 1/3 of a cup of sugar. But to this, for the filling, we're going to add 2 teaspoons, make sure I do this right, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, because we're going to create a kind of a chocolatey cinnamon filling in this particular coffee cake. All right, and I have my my cocoa, and from that, I'm going to take 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. I'm not worried about sifting this. One, try to keep your chocolate away from you. Chocolate has a tendency to go up in a dust cloud, which it just did, but that's okay. Give this a good mix with give this a little whisk. Like my little whisk? So let's whisk this together. Again, this is our filling. We're going to just mix it up and put it to the side. And oh boy, that smells good right now. Cinnamon and chocolate. Yeah, really. Wonderful. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our dry ingredients into the wet. And we're going to mix that all together. I want to say you could almost do this by hand, but I'm going to do it with the mixer, and I'm going to do it on low because otherwise you'll have a giant dust cloud. All right, I'm getting a dust cloud anyway. So I'm going to finish mixing it by hand because, let me be perfectly honest with you, the secret kitchen is filled with flour dust right now. So we're going to just mix this by hand. Okay, my batter is nicely incorporated, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is a very, very thick batter. Very thick batter. You know, very thick batter. And that's the way it's supposed to be. All right, so here's what we're going to do next. I'm going to do this in a springform pan because I personally find it the easiest way to get the cake out. And seriously, if you bake a cake and you can't get it out of the pan, not very good, right? So here's what I'm going to do. And I have a little trick to show you as well. This is a 9-inch springform pan. This is actually going to make a pretty big cake. Show you what I'm going to do. Use your favorite brand of whatever your nonstick stuff is. Have a piece of parchment paper, which is now going to kind of get glued down to the bottom of my springform pan. I'm going to press this down. I just want you to see what I'm doing. And like so. This is what I'm ending up with, okay? So this is going to make it very easy for me to get the cake out later. All right, so half of the batter going in. It's not like you have to measure perfectly, but roughly half. Okay, again, very, very thick batter. So I'm going to use my offset spatula. Hopefully you've got one of these in your arsenal. This is a little one, and this is going to be very helpful for me to spread out this mixture. I want to get it right up to the sides of the springform pan. So I find this the easiest way to do that. All right, so roughly, I want you to really see it, roughly half the batter right to the edges of the pan. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my cinnamon chocolate situation, and I am going to, and it looks like a lot, and it is a lot. That's what we want. I am going to sprinkle this as evenly as I can all over this, all right? Take your time, get every nook and cranny covered. Okay, all of my filling, everything is in there. All the filling, you kind of really should let the camera have a really good look, okay? Everything is in there. I used the whole thing. All right, now you could just go right, by the way, you could just bake this without any filling and it would be delicious, but in the Secret Kitchen, we like to be over the top. All right, before I put the rest of the batter on top, I'm going to add some, I always keep some chopped walnuts handy, and I think this would certainly enhance the filling. I'm going to go roughly a cup of walnuts. You could use pecans, you could omit the nuts, more or less. It's not going to make a huge difference, but we like nuts in the Secret Kitchen. All right, now the next part, a little bit more technique involved, because you know that if you were to just put this on top, you would really mess up the filling. So my technique is I kind of dollop it all around, all right? This just takes a moment, but it's worth it. All right, last bit. You want to get every bit of this filling out. Okay, again, I want the camera to see what I did. I just dolloped it out, okay? Now, using my offset spatula, slowly and carefully, I'm just going to press everything into place, getting it around the edge, getting it right up to the edge. It's going to take you a moment. It's not like it's hard to do, but you want to just do it slowly and carefully. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm just doing the fine tuning. You can see I got everything right up to the edges. I don't want to disturb my filling. That's the secret here. Okay, this looks good to me. Okay, one last thing to do is, you know what? I've got some extra walnuts. Why don't we just sprinkle these across the top? Yes, we're using all of them. All right, kind of give these a little pat down. Gently, gently. All right, last thing that I'm going to do, it's an option. I've got some demerara sugar, and this is a nice coarse sugar, and I'm going to use what's going to wind up being about a tablespoon, and I'm just going to sprinkle this across the top. It's going to give, I like the look of it, and it's also going to give a nice little crunch when it comes out of the oven, all right? So that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so the next step is in the oven, which is preheated to 350, middle rack. I'm using a sheet pan, of course, because it's going to make it a lot easier for me to get the springform pan in and out. And this is going to take anywhere from 45 to 55 minutes. It kind of really is going to depend on your oven. So I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to check it at 40 minutes and just see where it's at. You want to make sure that a tester comes out, you know, clean. All right, so into the oven it goes, checking it in 40 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. This coffee cake is done. So this cake, I'm going to say about 45-50 minutes in the oven at 350. Look how big it is. It's packed with, first of all, it was in a 9-inch springform pan for reference, so it's going to feed an army of people. It's beautiful, and I really want you to see the interior. You kind of have an idea that there's a ribbon of something, the filling going on over there, but let me cut a piece, and that way you can really see it. Remember, this is really versatile, and there's so many different ways we can make this coffee cake by just changing out the fillings. And I think on another episode, we will do it in a different way. First of all, let's turn this around so the camera can really get a nice look. This coffee cake is really kind of a work of art, if I do say so myself. It's my absolute favorite coffee cake. And if you make it and you taste it, you'll know why. This kind of chocolate cinnamon situation there kind of gets fudgy. And I taste a bit of vanilla. I love the nuts. Maybe you don't like nuts. You don't have to use the nuts. Got some crunch from the demerara sugar on the top. I mean, really, this is the coffee cake of your dreams. So I hope you'll make it. Listen, keep us inspired, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Secret Kitchens of New Jersey. Bye, everyone.